Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Chapter 1, Lesson 9 for our math today. And our lesson today is for ways to make the number 8. All right. So once again, for this chapter, how do you add numbers is our essential question. And we're learning all the different ways to add numbers. All right, so our problem of the day is they would like us to draw a diagram and write a number sentence to solve this. All right, so I'm going to get for you. All right, so first let me read it to you. It says, there are 5 children playing kickball, and there's 2 fewer children playing jacks. Together, how many children are playing kickball and jacks? All right, so let us look at this, okay? So right here, this is just a screen that you can see what's on my desk. Okay, so they said that there were 5 children, all right, playing kickball. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, fewer means less, okay? They said there's 2 fewer than the 5 children that are playing jacks, okay? So if there's 5 here and there's 2 fewer people playing jacks, that means that there would be 1, 2, 3 people. So what I'm going to do, so I don't forget that, I'm going to add the 3. Since I figured it out, there's 5. 2 fewer than 5 is 3. But they want to know how many people are playing jacks and kickball all together, or in all. So there are our numbers, okay? There's a 5 and a 3. So we need to remember that when I switch to this screen, okay? All right. So they want us to draw or write, they want us to write a number sentence. So we said already that there are 5 children playing, right? 5 people playing kickball. Now it's an addition number sentence. That's right. So you put a plus sign. Very good. And then we figured out that there were 3 children playing jacks, okay? Now we have to figure out how many altogether are playing. We have to make sure we put an equal sign, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. Now here's our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to count on because we need to know how many altogether. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's go back. And here we are. We're going to write the number 8. Okay. Now, let's check what we have, all right? And I'll go to the next slide. There you go. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Don't worry, okay, if there was a little bit of a confusion with that. Just remember that fewer means less. So if there are 5 fewer, that means there's 2 less than the 5. But we are going to keep going over this, all right? This is the first time that they've talked about a problem like this. So don't worry. We are going to keep practicing. Just keep trying. That's all I want you to do for me. Okay. Now, look at this. They want you to find the sum. Remember, the sum means the answer. I would like you to do pause, use your counters, and figure out the sum. When you're ready, come back, okay, and check the answers. Okay, there you go. All right, here's 3 plus 4 equals 7. These all equal 7 with the exception of number 3. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Now, the other thing they asked was find another way to find the numbers, the sum, which was 7, 7, or 6. So they're giving you examples of other ways you could have found it. Just like we were practicing yesterday on our lesson of ways to make 6 and 7. Okay. All right, same thing. Use your counters. Figure out a way to make 7. Try these, see which one it is, and figure out which is your answer. Okay, there you go. Good job. It's just practice, boys and girls, practice doing math. All right, so now how could you use objects to show a way to make 8? Well, remember what I said? Always make sure that you start with the number 8 first. And then if they're colorful, put one section in one area, right? So let's do that let's try them. So we know we have to make 8, right? So we're going to just pick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now notice I'm stopping with the yellow, but I'm going to keep counting on. 7, 8. So here's a way to make 8. 2 plus 6. Okay? So when you have a color, you count on and you stop at 8. All right, good job. All right. There are some apples in a bowl as shown. All right, I'm curious. They say some, but they don't tell me how many. I want to know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Place a number of objects next to the bowl to represent another group of apples so that there are 8 apples in all. So represent means to make believe they're apples, okay? So we're going to use those because apples are kind of round, so I'm going to use this. All right, so as we already said, there's 5 apples in the bowl. So I'm going to take my pen and make sure I put 5 because I don't want to forget. And you can do this on a whiteboard if you want to, if you want to practice. Oops, that was a sloppy 5. Now they want us to know how many altogether. And when that's a hint to me. In all and all together, that's a hint that they want us to add. Okay, so now over here, once again, I'm going to use green because I like green apples too. So now we already said there's 5. Remember I said before to count on from 5, and then we're going to stop at what number? That's right, we're going to stop at number 8 because that's what they want to know. They said there's 8 in all. All right, so there's already 5 in the bowl. 6, 7, 8. All right, so how many apples? 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm going to write 3. So that tells me 5 plus 3 equals 8. Okay, now let's check the next slide to see. Yep, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Very good. Okay, so this one, remember this, vertical addition. Yep. Kaylin makes a snack in the kitchen. She puts the same amount of raisins in 2 groups. She has 8 raisins in all. How many raisins are in both groups? Use objects to solve. All right, so I'm going to use my counters, okay? And then they want us to complete. Now, remember, 8 is how many all together, in all. So, have you ever had to share evenly, right? So you say 1 for you, 1 for me. Well, that's kind of what I'm going to do with the counters. And I'm just going to use the same color counters because I don't know how many I'm going to be using, okay? But I'm going to make sure I put them on separate spaces on this slide. So ready? We're going to count to 8, but we're going to do it slowly because I have to move 1 for you, 1 for me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now here's why I'm checking all of this. It says there's 8 raisins in all. We know that we counted 8 because we stopped at 8, right? But it also said that we have the same amount. And I wanted to make sure that I had the same amount of raisins or counters in each group. So now I have to do the addition number sentence. So here it is. In this group, 4. Whoops. I don't do well with these computer little pens. 1, 2, 3, another 4. And we already know that the sum, and we checked it, so we can write the number 8, correct? Okay. Yes, that's a double, okay? So there we have it. You just solved the math problem. But now let's go check. And here we go. 4 plus 4 equals 8. All right. Now, boys and girls, you, again, should still have your counters with you, okay? And before we start, again, just a little reminder, in all is the clue for addition, okay? Because they want you to know, you have 2 pieces, they want to know how many in all, meaning all together, okay? And then the same also equals, right? The same thing is equals. Okay, so now here I go. We're going to use our red and yellow counters, or if you have the purple and the teal. All right, so here are counters, red and yellow. All right, so I'm going to read this to you. You have it on your page, your book, just like this one, okay? You have it in your math book, all right? And I'm going to read it, and as I read it, you can move your counters to where it tells you in the math story, okay? There are 5 people swimming. All right, so 1, 2, 3, you put your counters in, 4, 5. Have a great time. 5 people swimming, and 3 more people join them. So now this is where I use my yellow, because that's going to be my other number. 1, 2, and 3. So 3 more people join them. They want to know how many people are swimming in all, okay, and write the addition number sentence. So here I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the 5 people were in the water first, so that's my first number, okay? And then 3 more join them. So now I'm going to see how many in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. 8. So that's the in all, or the sum. Okay. So if the answer would be 5 plus 3 equals 8. Very nice. Okay. All right. Now with the see and show, they just like with the numbers 4 and 5, 6 and 7, there are many ways to make the sums of 8. Okay. So here they go. Remember, the red is the number 3, and then 5 is yellow, 8. But now look at that. They turned over the red to the yellow side. And they did, now you can tell, even just by looking, they did not add any other counters to this. But there's only 1 red this time, and now there's 7 yellow. And the sum is still the same. All right. So I'm going to show you a way that we can, using our work mat, okay, we can make 8 very easily. So if you look at this, okay, and I'm just going to put my 8 counters in the hole, all right, part hole, not the hole in a shirt or something like that. So let me just remember, I always like to count and double check to make sure I have the correct number, because if I have the wrong number here, all of my answers are going to be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I know I have 8. All right, I have my first part, I'm going to do 1 here, okay? And you can turn these over if it's easier for you to know. So now let's see what my first math sentence could be. 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that would be your first math sentence that you could print right here. 1 plus 7 equals 8, okay? And then you could continue, you could just go like this and move it over, and now it would be 2 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So this is another way of you to make sure you can find as many different ways of the number 8 as is possible with the counters. And then every time you move a counter over, make sure you print the new math sentence, okay? And then they just showed different examples. And actually they were doing it, they started with 0 red and 8 yellow, and then they started just moving 1 over each time, okay? You could do that, or you could just, but try not to do the same. See, the reason I do it that way is so I don't repeat a math sentence. They want 6 different ways, okay? So if I did the 2 and the 6 again over here, it's not different. It's the same thing. I just printed it again. Okay, so now you can figure out your answers, pause, and then come back and check your answers. Good job. Yep, they're all ways to make 8. How could you use cubes to show ways to make 8? How could you use cubes? That's right. You could start with 8 of one color, and every time you want to change it, you take off 1 cube, but you have to make sure that you put a different one on another color on there, right? And keep changing it, okay? But you have to make sure you're always counting to make sure you didn't lose a cube, just like I do with our counters. All right, so now they want you to use the mat. That's the paper like I had. Yours is white. And use your red and yellow counters, okay? And they would like you to practice finding the sum. Practice doing it. Put your answers here, all right? And then come back, all right? Pause this video to work on it, and then come back and check your answers. Good job, boys and girls. Same thing. Work on this. Hit pause, come back and check. Okay. More practice. Good job. All right, now here's a problem-solving one. All right, now these usually have a little bit of room on your paper, and with that you can put your counters there, or you can draw little circles, whichever you'd like. So Bryce saw 5 foxes. His friend saw 3 other foxes. How many foxes did they see in all? Work on the problem, fill in and complete the addition number sentence, all right? And then unpause when you come back and check your answer. Good job. Right, you just took your 5 and your 3, and then you added your counters together. All right, on number 30, okay? 4 chipmunks on a tree, 4 more join them. Pause and figure out and answer how many chipmunks are on the tree now. Good job. Okay, so now this one is also a little different than some of the hot problems we've done before. So you'll see when I read it to you, okay? A baker sold 4 muffins in the morning. She sold 2 muffins later that day. The answer is the answer is 6 muffins. What's the question? All right, well, she sold 2 in the morning and then 2 more, and we know there's 6. So we have to know what kind of question was asked. I know, I almost gave the answer, didn't I? But that's okay. All right, so you're right. The answer is How many muffins did she sell? Oops, spelled it wrong. And it's a question, okay? So that's it. That's the question. How many muffins did she sell? The answer is 6 muffins. All right. Well, boys and girls, you did a great job with our math lesson today. All right. Remember, when you go over this lesson with me afterwards, if you have any questions, okay, just ask me. And I also would like you to do the next page, all right, the warm-up number 4 in your math warm-up book. Okay? All right. See you soon. Bye.